Greetings, Tony from Old River Hard Goods again. Well, today's video is going to kind of a quick one on some recent finds I just made. These guys haven't been cleaned up yet, but there's some really neat and collectible tools there worth taking a look at. And of course, there's going to be one flea market segment at the end where there's also a pretty neat collectible tool. So sit back and enjoy. Well, today I went on a Facebook Marketplace pick. And let me tell you, every time I go on one of those, it's always out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's the kind of place where when you get to the end of it, Google Maps lady says, "You've reached your destination," I think. I did one a couple years back during the winter months and wound up on a back road that had 2 inches of ice on it. Today, being 85 degrees, that wasn't a problem, but still it was quite the ride. So, anyways, I'm going to go over all of these in detail, so sit back and kind of enjoy the ride. If you notice, I got the paper down because this stuff is au naturel. I haven't done anything to it. Matter of fact, it just kind of got here in the door. So, anyways, first up is this panel raising plane. It's got a mark, but I can't read it. It's kind of faint. I'm thinking it might be a Chapin. And as you can see, it does have some checking. I haven't tried the screws. The iron don't look too bad down in there. I haven't pulled the wedge yet. That's going to be fun. The tote definitely has a repair, and probably going to need another repair. But the depth stop screws are original. The fence screws are original. Whether or not they're going to move, that's a whole nother question. But I can't tell you the last time I had one of these guys. It's been quite a while. They were going kind of crazy in price there for a bit, and pretty hard to get your hands on them. So we'll see what happens with this one. Next up is this oak Coachmaker's double router. And you can see it's got an old repair on both sides here, but it has the fences. Don't know if the screws work. It's got both blades. And again, I haven't tried pulling the wedges. There's some checks and overall patina on it, but hey, this is another one I haven't had in a long time. They're getting pretty scarce. A lot of times you'll find bodies, but finding one that's complete, even in this kind of shape, bit of crusty overall, but we can fix some of that. So that's another very collectible tool. Next up on the list is this user-crafted router plane. Kind of looks like a Stanley, but it's not a Stanley. A lot of these were made by pattern makers, and they weren't usually the prettiest, but they were made to do a job, and that they did. Sole's got some rust on it, but does have the one blade, and it's not really a Stanley style blade, although I suspect it would probably fit in there. And knobs and this thing needs a cleaning, but again, there's some folks that like these things. They are pretty collectible in their own right. And for those of you who don't know what a pattern maker is, they were the individuals that made the wooden patterns used for casting. It was very precise. I can talk, very precision work. And a lot of their tools were designed to do that. I'm sure you've seen the crank neck gouges and chisels around that were used by pattern makers, and they worked on small items as well as bigger items, and they weren't above making their own tools as well. So that's the next one in this list. And here we have a panel gauge. Looks to be mahogany. Let's see color. And what's neat is that tip is adjustable. If I can do this, you can actually move it up or down with the nut here. And I haven't messed with this, obviously. It's got some paint stains on it. Note the work there. This guy's going to shine when I get done with it. And I'll tell you what, this is a really, really uncommon. I mean, yeah, panel gauges are out there, but a beautiful one like this, ooh, few and very far between. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know everything about old tools. I mean, I got a pretty good knowledge of stuff, but there's a lot of uncommon ones that you just don't see very often. I've never seen very often, and you just kind of have to go on gut. And such was the case with this guy. This is a Joseph Bailey patent. July 16, 1870, patent number 105766. It was actually the patent was for a box scraper, but they used it on spoke shaves as well. And you got, let's see if I can do this. I did it before. Pull this lever down, and the blade and the chip breaker removes. And the patent information is down there on the underside. I don't know if you can see it or not. Took a little digging to find this guy, but boy, again, talk about rare. Yeah, this one's got to take some cleaning, but it's not too bad, and it's usable, that's for sure. Not that anybody would, but people like to think that they're going to use them. So, but that's part of the fun of collecting, right? And the last up, now this guy that I got these from must have had 50 wooden planes there. And other than the panel raiser and this one, most of them were in dead or dying condition. But this was the nicest one overall. And this was made by Mr. J.R. Tolman of Hanover, Mass. He worked from 1830 until 1860, most notably for his shipbuilder's planes, which I believe this one would have been. It's a very shallow round plane. I mean, I just, it's going to take a little clean. It's marked 2 1/4 on the heel. But there's no damage here. A little bit of a check there, but that's not an issue. The wedge is original, and the iron and cap are probably original. And again, I'm looking down on the inside, and I don't see too much nasty. So again, this is one of those planes you just don't see too often, especially in this kind of shape. And I said, the mouth is even good. You look at the sole. So this one's going to take a little cleaning. I mean, they're oily, grimy, and what have you, but we're going to make this one shine as well. And that's it for the finds from the road trip. Now on with the flea market segment. Well, Saturday at the flea market was pretty light. I managed to score a couple things, but Sunday turned out to be pretty decent. And this is the first batch. There's a Type 16 Stanley number 4, 1930s vintage. Yeah, I know I got tons of them, but that one's not in too bad a shape, so it won't take too long to get it back to looking pretty again. A wooden mallet, a few dings and bumps, but not too bad overall. Stanley number 82 adjustable box or cabinet scraper. That's going to need a little work. A pretty decent slate hammer. Stack leather handle's good. Again, needs a little cleaning, but nothing too bad. Oh, a little Crown Tools marking gauge. Marking mortising gauge, I should say. A Buck Brothers gouge with a green painted handle. Hopefully that'll come off. Years back, I had a bunch of really nice specialized Addis carving tools the guy made his own handles for. Well, he painted them. It's kind of that shade, actually a worse looking shade of puke green. And it soaked down into the grain. And I sanded and I scraped and I even tried using the wheel on them and I still couldn't get the green paint off. So I just painted them black and called it a day. But you'll have this Stanley 720 chisel, nice and long, 1/4 inch, little hand forged pick, tips a little bent. It's got a little patina, but it's a Garlic and Sons, Garlic and Sons English, little brass back saw, needs a little cleaning. Stanley Winterbottom patent square. It's got the 1898 patent date on it. This is a Stearns number 8 adjustable spoke shave. You can tell it's a Stearns because of the decorative bridge. Don't look to be too bad, so we'll get that one nice and pretty again. And this one is am I looking at that the right way? Nope, sorry. A Robert A. Parrish big hollow plane. Parrish was a Philadelphia plane maker who worked from 1807 until 1845. So, as I said, this was the first round of picking. Stay tuned for round 2. And round 2, yes, that is a complete set of Russell Jennings 32.5 auger bits with the original box. The box has got some scratches and wear, but all the bits are present. At least they were when I bought them. You're going to need a little cleaning, but nothing too bad, that's for sure. This was a neat find. See it? Isaac Haysinger of Philadelphia, PA, was granted patent number 307767 on November 11th, 1884. Now, this was originally patented as a pocket knife, but only the screwdrivers have shown up. And it's quite the tool. It's marked novelty. You basically squeeze down on this, do this one hand, squeeze down on that. Yep, there we go. And the blade retracts. Rosewood, brass. Yeah, it's pretty good shape as is. I may just pretty up the blade a little bit, but leave the brass as is. But that was a find. That wasn't cheap. Don't think that was a $5, junk table find, but that's a neat piece. And last but not least, pair of hand-forged splitting wedges. These are what we call PA Dutch style or German style. The wood's pretty nasty on it. The bodies look to be good, at least from what I can see under the rust. And they do have the bang rings, and the wood can be replaced. And let me tell you, that's 12.25 pounds right there. And it was not fun dragging that out of the market this morning. But I haven't checked to see what these guys are selling for yet. One point, good ones were selling for $65, $75 a piece. I kind of doubt that's happening anymore, but who knows? But anyways, hey, pretty good pile for one day's work. And that's it for this one, folks. Hope you enjoyed my little presentation, and I hope you learned something. And as always, if you like what you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button to be notified when new videos are posted. Have a great day.